Stay with me right to the end, because 1996 was a year of hard goodbyes, and I promise you'll hear at least one name you didn't expect. From Golden Age legends to modern hitmakers, from TV icons to sports voices we grew up with, the losses came one after another. Watch till the last second so we can honor every life together, and then tell me in the comments whose work meant the most to you. Your share, like, and comment help keep their memory alive for new fans who are just finding them now. We begin with a little girl whose smile the world still remembers. JonBenét Ramsey was born in Atlanta and became known for her talent shows and bright stage presence. Her passing in December at only 6 years old shocked homes across America. People still speak of the joy in her photos and the promise of a life that should have had many more birthdays. Remember her not for the headlines, but for the child who loved to sing and sparkle. Carl Sagan took us to the stars with simple words and a kind voice. Through Cosmos and his books, he made space feel close, and science feel like wonder we all could share. He died in December at 62, but every time we look up and ask a curious question, that sense of awe is part of his gift. Marcello Mastroianni was the face of cool in European film. From La Dolce Vita to countless roles full of charm and depth, he showed how a look or a pause can say more than a speech. He passed in December at 72, leaving a screen legacy that still feels alive, modern, and graceful. Patty Donahue, the singular voice of the waitresses, brought wit and edge to new wave with I Know What Boys Like, and a holiday classic fans replay every year. She died in December at 40. Her songs still feel clever, punchy, and full of style that belongs to her alone. Howard Rollins, powerful and precise, earned an Oscar nomination for Ragtime and moved audiences on TV and film with quiet strength. He died in December at 46. He left us roles that hold up because the truth in them never fades. Tiny Tim, with that unforgettable falsetto and ukulele charm, made Tiptoe Through the Tulips a pop culture touchstone. He died in November at 64. Behind the novelty was a real student of early American music, and a performer who gave every last ounce on stage. Mark Leonard was the soul of dignity in Star Trek, most famously as Sarek, Spock's father. He brought weight and warmth to science fiction in a way that made family ties feel as epic as space itself. He died in November at 72, and fans still quote his scenes with respect. Maury Amsterdam's quick banter on The Dick Van Dyke Show helped set the standard for TV comedy timing. He passed in October at 87, after a life where a wisecrack could feel like a hug, fast, friendly, and perfectly timed. René Lacoste was more than a tennis champion. He shaped style off the court with a little crocodile that still sits on shirts around the world. He passed in October at 92, his name now a symbol of sport and clean design. Ted Bessel, remembered for That Girl, played the sweet, steady partner we all root for. He died in October at 61, leaving behind TV work that still feels cozy and kind. Dorothy Lamour lit up the road to films with Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, and brought glamour to every frame. She passed in September at 81, a classic Hollywood star who carried herself with grace and humor. Gene Nelson danced, acted, and staged numbers in the great musical era, with moves full of bounce and joy. He died in September at 76, a reminder that a song and a kick can lift a whole room. McGeorge Bundy, advisor to Presidents Kennedy and Johnson, was a major figure in foreign policy during tense years. He died in September at 77. Agree or disagree with him, his role in history was large, and the lessons from that time still matter. Juliette Prowse brought elegance and sparkle to the screen and stage. She passed in September at 59, remembered for a dancer's posture and a star's smile that made every entrance feel special. Tupac Shakur changed music with raw truth, pain, and poetry. He died in September at 25, but his words still live in headphones and hearts around the world. He spoke for people who felt unseen, and the echo is still strong. Joanne Drews stood tall in classic westerns like Red River, and she wore a yellow ribbon. She passed in September at 74, a familiar face in the widescreen stories of the American West. Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass, gave the mandolin a voice that could cry and dance at the same time. He died in September at 84. Every festival and porch jam that follows owes him a tip of the hat. B.B. Besh, known to many for Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, worked across film and TV with quiet range. She passed in September at 54, leaving roles that still land with fans. Joe Antinora helped guide professional bowling as a leader who loved the sport and its players. He died in September at 68, remembered by a community that grew on his watch. Greg Morris, as Barney Collier in Mission Impossible, showed skill, calm, and cool intelligence every week. He passed in August at 62, a TV pioneer whose presence mattered. Tom Mees, one of ESPN's early trusted voices, brought live sports into new territory. He died in August at 46, and fans still remember the early days when cable sports felt fresh and exciting. Claudette Colbert won Hearts and an Oscar with It Happened One Night, and set the bar for intelligence and elegance on screen. She died in July at 92. Her films remain masterclasses in charm. Virginia Christine, known to many as Mrs. Olsen in coffee ads, also worked widely in film and TV, a steady, friendly face people welcomed into their living rooms. She passed in July at 76. Herb Edelman gave us Stan on the Golden Girls, bringing warmth and laughs to a show that still conquers reruns. He died in July at 62, his comic beats still ringing true. Chaz Chandler played bass with the Animals and later helped launch Jimi Hendrix's career. He died in July at 57. Few people get to shape music both on stage and behind it. He did both. John Chancellor, calm and clear, became a trusted voice of NBC News for years. He died in July at 68. When the world felt confusing, his tone helped people make sense of it. David McCampbell, World War II flying ace and Medal of Honor recipient, passed in June at 86. His courage in the air remains a model for service and resolve. Melvin Belly, the colorful lawyer called the King of Torts, pushed for consumer rights and modern legal practices. He died in July at 88, a courtroom figure people never forgot. Margaux Hemingway, model and actress, had a face that defined fashion for a moment in time. She died in July at 42. She is remembered for beauty, but also for the human struggle behind the photos. Albert R. Broccoli brought James Bond to the big screen and kept him there, decade after decade. He died in June at 87, leaving a film world that still thrives on his vision. Ella Fitzgerald, the First Lady of Song, passed in June at 79. Her voice swung, soared, and soothed, and her recordings feel forever fresh. Put on any track and feel your day change. Jo Van Fleet, an Oscar winner for East of Eden, brought power to every part. She died in June at 80. When she stepped into a scene, the level went up. Max Factor Jr. grew a family brand into a global symbol of beauty. He died in June at 91. The makeup in film and at home bears his imprint. Ray Combs, warm and quick on Family Feud, brought families and laughs together every day. He passed in June at 40. He made people feel at ease on camera, and that is a real gift. Timothy Leary was a spark in the culture, drawing both support and debate with ideas that pushed boundaries. He died in May at 75. His name still starts conversations. Bradley Nowell of Sublime blended ska, punk, and reggae into songs that still play at every summer party. He died in May at 28, a talent gone far too soon, with music that refuses to fade. John Pertwee, the third Doctor in Doctor Who, mixed charm, wit, and action in a role fans adore to this day. He passed in May at 76, a hero to generations who travel time with the Doctor. Johnny Guitar Watson, electric and stylish, shaped blues, soul, and funk with a grin and a blazing guitar. He died in May at 61. His groove still moves crowds. Irma Bombeck wrote about family life with warmth and a wink, turning everyday chaos into comfort. She passed in April at 69. Her columns felt like talking with a wise friend. Jimmy the Greek Snyder brought energy and color to sports talk before that was common. He died in April at 77, a TV personality people still recall. Bernard Edwards, co-founder of Chic, gave the world bass lines that changed dance music, Le Freak, Good Times, and beyond. He died in April at 43. Modern pop rides grooves he helped invent. Greer Garson's grace and strength in Mrs. Miniver and many more made her a golden age jewel. She passed in April at 91. Her poise remains a lesson. Saul Bass changed how movies look before they even start, with title sequences and posters that became art in themselves. He died in April at 75. Designers still study his work. John McSherry, a respected Major League umpire, passed in April at 51. Players and fans knew him as fair and steady on the field. Lucio Fulci, the Italian horror master, gave cult fans unforgettable shocks and moods. He died in March at 68. His style is still copied and celebrated. Vince Edwards, TV's Doctor. Ben Casey brought serious weight to medical drama long before it was a trend. He passed in March at 67. George Burns lived to 100 and kept the joke alive the whole way. He died in March, a true legend of stage, radio, film, and TV whose timing and cigar became a signature of an era. Simon Cowdell, charming in the British comedy Hi-de-Hi, passed in March at 45. His light touch made a lasting mark on fans of UK TV. Whit Bissell, the familiar face in classics from the Caine Mutiny to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, died in March at 86. He was the character actor you always recognize and always enjoy. Minnie Pearl, with her price tag hat and warm howdy, brought joy to the Grand Ole Opry for decades. She passed in March at 83, a true country treasure. Haing S. Inger, Oscar winner for The Killing Fields and a brave voice for Cambodian refugees, died in February at 55. His life and work moved people far beyond the screen. Audrey Munson, often called America's first supermodel, inspired artists and statues across the country. She passed in February at 104. You can find her features in stone in city squares even now. Charlie Finley, the bold owner of the Oakland A's, made baseball brighter and sometimes louder with his ideas. He died in February at 77, a colorful figure who helped shape the sport's modern age. Roger Bowen, who played Colonel Henry Blake in the M*A*S*S*H film, passed in February at 63, a sharp mind on screen and on the page. Tommy Rettig, the early star of Lassie who later helped pioneer software tools, died in February at 54. He showed there is life after child stardom, and even a new field to shape. McLean Stevenson, as Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake on M*A*S*S*H, gave TV one of its most bittersweet farewells. He passed in February at 68. Fans still talk about that goodbye. Martin Balsam, Oscar winner and master of both leading and supporting roles, died in February at 76. From A Thousand Clowns to Psycho, he always felt real. Guy Madison, the straight-shooting hero of the adventures of Wild Bill Hickok, passed in February at 74, a cowboy star from TV's early trail. Audrey Meadows, beloved as Alice on The Honeymooners, died in February at 73. She matched Jackie Gleason punch for punch with warmth and fire. Gene Kelly, the dancer who made rain feel like joy and turned sidewalks into stages, passed in February at 83. His mix of athleticism and art changed film forever. Jerry Siegel, co-creator of Superman, died in January at 81. He helped give the world a hero who still stands for hope. Minnesota Fats, the pool hall legend with a big personality and smooth talk, passed in January at 82. He brought billiards into the mainstream with flair. Les Baxter, the composer who built lush sound worlds in records and film, died in January at 73. His melodies carried listeners far from home. They may have left us in 1996, but their work still fills rooms with music, laughter, ideas, and heart. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you for helping keep these memories alive. Tell me in the comments whose name surprised you, and which song, scene, book, or game you'll revisit tonight in their honor. If you care about timeless stories like these, please like this video so more people see it, and subscribe for more tributes told with care. Your one action helps their light keep shining.